Okay, it's August 31st, 2015. Quick garden update. As you can see, tomato plants are doing extremely well. I've had almost 2/3 of them are significantly over 6-7 feet tall now. In fact, they're getting so large, as you can see with this one, it's just outstripping the height of these frames to maintain the support. And then the tomatoes inside here are just massive, so it's literally too heavy to support itself. Same thing happened to this guy here. It's a difficult process, but the same thing. I mean, some of these tomatoes are just gigantic and extremely heavy. So, but plants are definitely doing very well. A lot of tomatoes ripening quickly. We're picking now. It's about the only one that's not doing so hot. I'm not sure why. Literally half the plant you can see is dead. Another one doing really well. Another one. Let me back out. It's kind of easier. It's another one. As you can see, I'm holding the camera up. It's significantly taller than me, with an enormous amount of tomatoes in there. So, same deal here. The Italian early spring beans still doing great. Still picking quite a few of those on a regular basis. Plants are actually still flowering, as you can see. This area was where the sugar snap peas were planted, and we, as I mentioned in the earlier video from last month, unfortunately we didn't realize how aggressively they would tangle themselves, since they're vines, with the weeds, and it just became impossible to separate them. So we'll learn a good lesson learned for next year, that they have to be on a trellis, otherwise it's a total waste of time. As you can see here, cantaloupes doing really well. A whole bunch of cantaloupes in here. Got like 7 cantaloupes right now, growing and doing well between the 3 plants. One down at the end there. It's kind of grown into that mass of weeds as well, but good cantaloupes. Peppers here, quick failure. Notice the cucumbers all died completely. Another failure. Going to have to figure out some way of keeping them alive, because you put them in multiple spots and it just doesn't seem to matter. Anyway, here's the pepper area. There was originally 10. The squirrels, I believe, were the culprits. Came in and literally dug them up initially, and they left 5, which have now all reached the point where they're large enough to flower. This one's got a couple small peppers on it already. That one, same thing, a couple small peppers. I've replaced 2 of the spots where the peppers were with an extra parsley and basil plant. The parsley, as you can see, is doing very well. Basil, not so much. Eggplants had some sort of infestation that chewed these guys down. All 4 of these at one point were the same size, and these other 3 were chewed down literally to the stem. They've regenerated to the point, you can see that one's got a flower on it, but none of them have done as well as this one, obviously. That, you know, is this the appropriate size for this time of year. And as you can see, it's got a good sized eggplant in there, and other eggplants growing. Take a look here. See, these pumpkins have not, I mean, they're still growing. You can see them on the exterior of the deer fencing. The plants are still growing. We've got one large pumpkin at this point, but has not been a great success. The squash have done much better. They're actually, so 3 out of the 5 still have actual squash growing on them. So I consider that to be a success. I don't know if you can see in there, it's kind of hard for me to walk, but that one over there has a squash on it, and so does that one. So, alright, so it's enough for the garden update. Signing off until the end of September.